I needed to perform in concerts. When I could finally play my instrument in person, I refined those skills so that now I can perform with as much confidence as if I had learned the instrument in person all along. In fact, I probably have more confidence during my performances because I trust my intuition from learning to play the instrument in almost complete isolation. Digital small tuba education aside, this situation has taught me an important lesson in change. Some of the most routine things can change. Mountains rise, bridges fall, diseases spread, and God does have to tell Moses what 7 times 7 is, because when you're God, you can change things like that. This is change, and we can learn to embrace it. I'm not saying that we should greet change like an old friend. Rather, we should greet it as a helpful old adversary whose dispute with us has been long buried into the sands of time. I feel very grateful that I was given the opportunity to become a B'nai Mitzvah. I have done very meaningful work with Torah, Haftarah, and the Shabbat service. Each bit has made its own contribution. However, seeing it all come together has been only a footnote in the process. What I value most is keeping this tradition alive. As someone who is growing up in the age of technology and cell phones, I find it comforting to read words that are 5,000 years old and contain highly specific laws as a change from the minimalist shorthand of modern-day texting language. Even though some things may change, we can take comfort in the oldest and most sacred of rituals, which aren't undergoing any massive changes. I would say the B'nai Mitzvah process falls into this category very well. A B'nai Mitzvah is a time of coming of age, but it is also a reassurance to the Jewish religion that the tradition keeps going. I am excited to announce the continuation of my Jewish life, such as my further involvement in the services and events at Congregation Etz Chaim, and my journey towards becoming confirmed. And I am also excited to supply strength to Jewish life in general, or the life of the Jewish people. For my mitzvah project, I volunteered alongside my mom at the Glen Ellen Food Pantry. I knew it would feel rewarding, but I never imagined that it would feel this rewarding. First of all, I had never been inside the pantry before I volunteered there. I thought it was just a room or two, each with a few shelves of miscellaneous food. Upon walking in, we are greeted with around 5 to 6 rooms filled with pretty much every grocery store food imaginable. It's not low-quality food either. There's fresh fruit, vegetables, and canned goods. For my volunteer work, I checked donations for expired products and sorted out the remaining items so that they would be ready to be put on shelf. This project was a great experience for me, not just because I could see how much people in need benefit from this pantry, but also because I got the opportunity to see how my actions contributed to a larger mission. It was not a matter of bringing something new into the world. Rather, it was a way for me to find my place in this greater group of people who are all willing to help out. This is also a good metaphor for my bar mitzvah. I'm not bringing a new ceremony into the world, but I am doing my part to keep the Jewish religion alive. Speaking of the B'nai Mitzvah process, I think it is important to mention that there is no way I could have prepared myself for this alone. I would like to give a massive thank you to all of my Hebrew school teachers who taught me everything from the Aleph Bet to chanting Torah. 2 of my Hebrew teachers also happen to be the rabbis, Rabbi Koznowski and Rabbi Weiner. Thank you for making class challenging and rewarding. Because of you, I can't wait to continue my education through the confirmation process. Thank you to Marla Bentley for greeting me every Wednesday and Sunday with a smile and words of encouragement. Thank you to Rachel Wood for organizing a straightforward, unintimidating process for learning Torah, and to Cindy Michelasi for the beautiful music during Shabbat services and around the campfire at Asrui. Moving on to friends and family, I want to thank my aunts and uncles for enriching my life in wonderful ways, my cousins for being friendly and kind, and my grandma and poppy for all the visits, poker games, nature walks, and love. Thank you to my friends for giving me fruitful connections to interesting topics and hobbies. And finally, I want to give a huge thank you to my wonderful parents who, in every stage of my life, gave me more strength and support than I ever could have asked for. You have been so loving, helpful, and prudent for as long as I have lived, and you have especially encouraged me in a year where I am very stressed, the year spent preparing for my bar mitzvah. You brought me through every time period of childhood, from teaching me how to walk and ride a bike, to helping me pursue my love for math, to showing me how to be organized at school, to providing the best musical education I could ever ask for. Finally, thank you to everyone here who supported me in this time or in any time of change at all. I would not have gotten this far in any aspect of my development without you. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, all right, we have to let them in. But this was so good. Okay, this was great. You know what happens next. I come up and I give my rebuttal. I take you to the ark for a blessing.
Rebuttal sounds so...
I'm just teasing. Oh, did we? Erev Tov, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks. It's so lovely to see all of you today. Thanks. Everybody having a good day today? Yes? I saw lots of smiling faces, which I like. Sorta. All right, we're going to start with Am Yisrael Chai, and then we'll continue on from there. Amen, Amen, Am Yisrael Chai, 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 Amen. some great enthusiasm. We are going to continue on page 28. What happens on page 28? The Baruch Hu. Very good. We are on page 28 for the Baruch Hu. Na lakum, please rise. We're going to do a different melody, so you got to pay attention. Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Lashevet, please be seated. Let's continue together. Reading on page 30. Would anybody like to come up and help lead Ma'ariv Aravim? If you would like to come up and help lead Ma'ariv Aravim, come on up.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'shalom ariv aravim v'chokma poseh sha'arim v'tuna mishaneh metim u'mahalif et hazmanim u'msayer et hakochavim v'mishpatehem barakia kirtzonel Borei Yom V'Layla, Golel Or Mipnei Hoshe, Behoshe Mipnei Or. Machamir Yom U'Meviu Layla, U'Mazdil Bein Yom U'Bein Layla, Adonai Siraot Shemo. El Hai V'Kayam, Tamid L'Olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ma'ariv Aravim.
Very good. Toda Rabbah, Yasher Koach, you could take a seat. Nicely done. We are going to continue on page 34. And on page 34, you will find what prayer? The Shema, beautiful. Na lakum, please rise. You want to come up? Come on. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Yasher Koach, Toda Rabbah to our third graders who came on up. Take a seat. We are going to turn to page 36 for the Ve'ahavta. Is there anybody who would like to come up and help lead Ve'ahavta? You don't have to raise your hand. You can just come on up. Joe and Sam, bring your Cedarim if you're coming on up. Joe, row. Come on up. We are on page 36. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech u'shokmecha u'kuvnecha u'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totavot b'neinecha u'shartam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeitem me'eretz Mitzrayim l'chiyot lahem l'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Everybody who came up to help lead the Ve'ahavta. I love that I'm seeing more and more people up here each time and different people up here each time, which is just so great. Anytime that you feel like you want to come and lead one, we would love to have you. Okay, we are going to continue. I'm going to do this on page 40, which is Mi Chamocha. Page 40. Everybody there? No? Yes? Maybe? Can I get a thumbs up if you're there? All right, very good. We got everybody there. Okay. Beautiful singing. So nice. We are going to continue. Yes, I heard it over here on page 46 with our 7th graders' favorite prayer. It is their favorite. It is the Amidah. And I'm going to invite anybody, and I'm going to require the 7th graders to come up to lead the Amidah on page 46. Na lakum, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tifta ufia gita ilateha. Adonai sefatai tifta ufia gita ilateha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Konei Ha'akol, V'Zoher HaSe'avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geulah Libnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham V'Tzrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Metim Atah Le'Oshia, Mori Atah, Mechalkel Hayim Behesed, Mechayeh Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayeh Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mihamo Haba'al Gevurot, Umido Melech, Melech Menit, Umechayeh, Umatviach Yeshua, V'ne'manata l'chayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha-metim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom hallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh.
So we have a few extra minutes today, which means we get to do some Ask the Rabbi. Anybody have a question? Matthew. Okay, can we do Miriam's song? We can do Miriam's song as a closing song. How about that? We can do that. Anybody else have a question? Sophia. Yeah. Do you know the difference of those letters in Hebrew? Yeah. One has a dot and one doesn't. Do you remember which sound they make? If it has a dot, if it has a belly button, third grade, what sound does it make? Yep. K. A coin. Oh, I like that. Very good. Oh, bet has a belly button. Okay, very good. I like that. And what does the one without a belly button have? What does it sound like? Oh, you're talking about pay and fay. That's really easy to get to mix them up. Yep. Ha, very good. So, Sophia asked a really great question, which is why does one say me? The first line says mi kamocha. If you turn to page 40, by Elim Adonai. The second time it says mi chamocha nedar bakodesh. And the story that we have is about a guy named Nachshon. Anybody ever heard about Nachshon? Anybody? Yeah? So Nachshon was this really brave guy, because what happened was, imagine yourself as the Israelites who just escaped from slavery. Everybody, can you imagine that in your head, what that looks like? Right? And they've gotten to the Red Sea, and Moses says, okay, y'all, guess what? I'm going to stick my staff in the sea, and it's going to split, and you're going to follow after me. Would you believe him? No, right? I don't know about you all, but I would have been really scared. And I think the Israelites were also really scared because, like, what happens even if, like, they split and the water goes up and then we're halfway through and then it comes crashing down? What happens, right? That's what I would think about. So all the Israelites were like, okay, Moses, like, we know you've done all these things and you're really, you speak for God and all of this, but, like, we're really going to trust you to cross the Red Sea? And this guy, Nachshon, says, I got it. I'm going to volunteer to go first. I believe in Moses. And so he starts walking the Red Sea before it has split or anything else. And while he's saying it, he's saying, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. And he's saying these words, and you walk into the sea, so it's getting higher and higher and higher. And by the time that he says that first line, it's all the way up to here, like all the way up to his shoulders. And he keeps walking in, and by the time that he's saying the next line, the water is sort of at his mouth. You know, like when you choke on water a little bit? Yeah, I know, there's like that sort of sound he made, but as he was saying that second line, Mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, he was like choking on the water, and that's when the sea split. So why do we say Mi kamocha and then Mi kamocha? To remind us of Nachshon, and most importantly, of the idea that we should try and be brave. That's why we have that. It's a good question. Anybody else got a question? Esther. Why does the Israeli flag look like a talit? That's a great question. I think we should actually ask, right? So, can everybody see this? Oh, well, excellent. Pull it over, right? What do you see on the Israeli flag? Samantha? A Star of David or a Magen David? Yeah? What else do you see on the Israeli flag? Sophia? Two blue stripes. Yep, exactly. Annabelle, what do you see?
You see the little yellow thing on it.
Yeah. The yellow fringe actually just makes it look extra special fancy, but doesn't have to be on it, right? It just makes it look fancier. But we have these blue stripes, and then the white in the middle. And Miss Gail, would you mind seeing if we have a talit that looks like this? I'm going to show you what a talit looks like. Because it's really cool when the Israeli flag was being created, how old is Israel? Does anybody remember? 75, right? So it's not that old. They actually had a competition. You could color on a postcard your idea for what the Israeli flag would be. Would you mind coming up here and holding it up so people can see? And people from all across the country submitted these. I've actually seen these postcards in the archives that people have made. And a lot of people, when they submitted them, used the blue stripes that are on the side as a way to connect the Israeli flag to our Jewish ritual. And so when the creators of the Israeli flag were deciding who won the competition, they said, we're going to combine a couple of them, but because we see that so many of them have these blue stripes, we're going to take that so that we always have this connection between our Jewish ritual and our flag for the country. And so that's why we have an Israeli flag that looks like a talit. Perfect. Thank you so much, Miss Gail. And someday, if I can find them, I'll show you my pictures of all the different pictures that people submitted as choices for the Israeli flags. They're very cool. Anybody else have a question? No? Then we're going to finish with Miriam's song, 342 if you're not dancing. If you are dancing, then I want to hear you singing, okay? Verse, ready? And they dance the whole night long. And on that note, I will say to you, Erev Tov, we will see you all on Sunday. Please remember to put your Sederim away.